Anyone would think I'm filming in March. This is our summer, and it really makes me contemplate whether I should live in this country. As pretty as it is, I love the sun, and I love to sunbathe, and I love to be out in the sun, exercise, and it's very sparse here. But no, thanks for the suggestion to get one of these. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, considering I live in such a windy place. Hopefully it does the trick. But in this video, I just want to bring your attention to what's important in recovery. And looking at that inner environment that you have in a day-to-day, on a day-to-day basis, and whether it's conducive to you healing and overcoming what you're struggling with. Because ultimately, you have to love yourself, and to love yourself is to give yourself peace. And if you have a daily routine that goes on in your mind of pressures on yourself to succeed, or whatever it may be, you're not really loving yourself. And in turn, that affects you in your recovery. Don't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect. Even after recovering, I'm not perfect. But I know when I come off the tracks, I know how to get back on them quicker, more efficiently, and get on with my life. But that inner peace, that quietness, is when the healing is commencing. And you can have all these other factors outside of yourself, like diet, as important as it is. You know, you're loving yourself by putting nutritious food in your mouth, etc. But ultimately, the most important thing is that inner peace, where the healing's commencing. So, just an example. Go back 11 years. I'm stuck in my room. I have this long list of things against me. It's looking pretty bleak. And the stress that caused me, when I would list all these things I had going against me, it'd cause a lot of inner turmoil and a lot of inner stress. And I really had to come to that inner peace of being okay with where I was at and loving myself enough to understand that it might not be perfect right now, but it's where I am, and flip it in such a way that I looked at that long list and I went, I'm going to overcome this. And when I do, this list that I've overcome, I'm going to be so proud of myself that I turned it around. In that dark abyss, that bleakness, that hopelessness, when I look back in a year from now, or whenever it may be, even if it's 5 years, I'm going to look back at that abyss that I've come from and be so proud of myself that I did it. And it turned it into a motivation, whereas a week prior to that, it caused me a lot of inner turmoil. So we have to get that peace with ourselves. So you really have to examine what it is going on in your mind. Journal, just EFT, just do anything to kind of unravel this onion that you've got, that you've developed over your lifetime. And figure out what it is that you can do to give yourself more inner peace. Because it's the most important thing when it comes to recovering. You need inner peace. Everything else is important. You don't have to be perfect, but every step in going in the direction of peace and loving yourself and treating yourself right is a step in the right direction. It might not be 100% up like some people want. They want doing the Hitler hand again, like I did in that other video. But it might not be straight up, but you might take a few steps back. But ultimately, that kind of mindset that you will have for yourself, of loving yourself, having peace within yourself and your environment, your inner environment, is never going to hinder you in your recovery.